TV. This is funny. I did it again. I was recording on another channel, didn't record on this channel, so nobody saw anything. But anyway, what's good? What's good? What's good? I can repeat everything I said because I remember everything that I said. Iran is allowing 12 ships through the Strait of Hormuz per day. The world has gotten back to everybody saying, yeah, Iran controlling the Strait of Hormuz is not an option. So any deal that has that on the table is not an option. I want you to stop and think about that. Think about the ramifications. Keep going. Then you have Iran saying that one of the things that's on the table is they get to collect money. Again, not an option. Something else that countries are saying, Lebanon should be a part of the deal. And there's your crazy part. Because I told you you have three loose cannons sitting at the table between everybody that needs to cut a deal. Telling Israel to not bomb Lebanon is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So again, excuse me, everything in the Middle East, none of it is easy to deal with. These are not easy questions, easy things that you can just snap a finger and poof, it's fixed. It's not the way it works. So taking a victory lap was not the smartest idea this regime could do, because now around the world you're hearing everybody come back and say, yeah, that's not it. This I don't know what this is, but that's not the answer. People are not pleased by that. So that's something that we're going to have to pay attention to, and that's something that we're going to have to listen to, because even right now, markets are looking a little bit down. A little bit down. That's why right now, everything is amber, because I'm expecting, yesterday was green. Just got to make sure. I'm expecting amber today, because I'm expecting some downtime. Not downtime, but I'm expecting things to go down. So that's going to be an issue. So something that we have to pay attention to, that we should be paying attention to, is the idea that the ceasefire is temporary. It's on a hair trigger. And so far, nobody likes anything that Iran has put forward as a part of this being the deal. Like I said yesterday, like I've said, a couple of times, their 10-point proposal in no way, shape, or form overlaps. Maybe one thing overlaps with, the 15-point proposal put forward by the United States. There's no overlap, except that we don't really want to fight anymore. There's no graceful exit from this. So let's think about that. There's zero graceful exit. So there's that. Here's something else to contemplate. I don't think there are too many politicians in Washington that actually want to give war powers to this president. He's proven time and time again that, he's I don't think anybody wants to do that. So we're at a point right now where every tiny little thing that happens in the Middle East has the complete and full attention of the entire world. Problem. Fertilizer, oil, whatever other additional products come out of that. Whatever products are affected by that. So farming, anything from China, prices are going to go up all over the place. All over the place. And so what do you do about that? How do you handle that? At the end of the day, I think it's going to be a little bit more than just negotiation, sadly. So what I'm looking at is downside risk. So I've got to do my calculations and see how that downside risk happens, how I think it would unfold, and maneuver my value to take advantage of the downside risk. And then once I can figure that out, if we can finish this, then we can see upside. Meanwhile, you still have companies that are firing people because, well, AI. Bolt Financial tried to say that we're getting rid of 30% of our people because, AI. You're getting rid of 30% of your people because I don't think you know how to manage. I think that's what's going on, right? I mean, think about this. In 2022, they were worth $11 billion. In 2024, they were worth $300 million. Do that math. I mean, at some point, you've got to admit, well, yeah, I don't know that these people know how to run a business. I'm shocked that they're still in business. That's right. I said it out loud. Those are my feelings about it. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just looking at the facts as they laid out in front of me. And now you're going to try to blame, jettisoning 30% of your staff and how that is due to AI. Yeah, bro. Yeah, go on with your bad self. Chainalysis predicts stablecoins will surpass Visa MasterCard transaction volumes by 2035 at a whopping $1.5 quadrillion in transactions. If you're Visa, if you're MasterCard, you're looking for other ways to stay in business. Your current business model will go on, but it's going to degrade over time. That degradation is not going to stop. It's going to keep going. So you've got to figure out what else you've got to do. I think MasterCard has figured out what their next step is, and they've figured out that this is what we're going to do. Cool. Visa, what are you going to do? MasterCard, and Visa and American Express, all those companies, Discover, all of them, all of the United States credit cards, all of the United States-based rails. What do you do as Europe continues to press forward with initiatives like, Wero, where they've got their whole, they're maneuvering all of their rails off of U.S.-based financial institutions to their own, where there is a wide array of competition. I will say for now, the United States used to have a lot of competition. And then slowly but surely, the top four became the top four banks. 4. From hundreds to 4. And you're seeing it again. Santander bought Webster Bank. Again, you're seeing consolidation happen a lot. So again, ask a very simple question. In light of competition that banks have from fintechs, from crypto, even from central banks that are going to make it so that regular people can bank at the central bank. It's part of the digital ID package for some of these countries. When do you start to redefine what a bank is? At what point do you say we need to redefine what we are, and we need to start coming out here with some value? Because right now we're not coming with enough value, and people are looking at us cross-eyed. They don't have faith. They're losing faith in us. That one. So right now, you've got Ripple coming out with an XRP token, I think 2.4 billion tokens that are quantum safe. Who can say that? Who else can say that? You have Jamie Dimon saying that beyond Kinesis, we need to develop our own blockchain. Because remember, Onyx Coin, which flipped over to be, JP Coin, which is Onyx Coin, whatever the heck it is, grew up to be Kinesis. It was built upon somebody else's blockchain. So they want to build their own blockchain. And I'm kind of like, could be smart. But still, the question remains, what is a bank? You have U.S. banks still crying that stablecoins can give yield. Oh, you got to stop them from doing that. How about you step up your game? I've been saying it for years. Step up your game and you won't have that problem. You will be competitive, but so far you're not competitive. What you're doing is you're saying, I'm a big boy, but I'm crying because I can't do this. At some point, you got to cut that crap out. Nobody cares about your alligator tears. Step up your game. Get it right. That's really all it takes. What is a bank? What do you bring to the table for me? Why should I leave my money in there? And why the hell are you still charging me to to put my money in there so that you can use my money to make money, you don't even pay me back enough to cover the fees. If I don't have enough money in the bank account, you charge me a ton of fees. If I walk into a bank branch and I sneeze, I'm probably going to get hit with a fee. That's what it feels like to most people. That's why around the world there are tons of bankless people. So you've got to figure out what is a bank? What do you bring to the table that makes it worthwhile? Because we already know that when I put my stable coin over here, we already know that they're going to go make money, but they're paying me a decent rate for that right, for that access to that aggregate money. You guys aren't doing anything. You guys aren't coming to the table with anything. You're making it difficult. And you're definitely not winning in the court of public opinion. So at some point, you've got to stop and you've got to go, figure that out. Chainalysis predicts that, 1.5 quadrillion annually in stablecoin transactions by 2035, surpassing Visa and MasterCard. What are all the financial institutions going to do when Europe completes their move off of US-based rails? What are you going to do? You will have more competition. So you're facing competition from governments, you're facing competition from fintechs, you're facing competition from crypto. Now you're facing regular competition in your own space from Europe. US, when are you going to wake up and change your game? There's big competition across banks in Europe. There's not so much here in the United States. And there's not enough definition about what it is that you actually bring to the table. My fear is that they're so lethargic and they're so slow that that's going to be a problem. Hopefully they step up. We'll see what happens. Now, a North Korean IT group earned $3.5 million in crypto since late 2026 via blacklisted wallets. Not to mention, I mentioned to you last night, you've got a lot of North Koreans that are finding remote jobs in the United States. That's one way they're infiltrating. Somebody found a CTO that's actually North Korean. Yikes. On top of that, not only do you have them infiltrating that way, but you have them infiltrating and as business partners working with people like leveraging Cursor. And in Cursor, there's a setting that says trust, my coworkers, basically. And these banks, these companies are going through great steps to actually get you to trust them. It's a long-term phishing scam. So it's like 6 months or something like that. And then all of a sudden your repo is injected with bad code. And somehow you lose money and they make money. There's some scary stories. So when you hire people, know who they are. Know who they are, because if you don't, you could be running a risk. We've already had stories where people here in the United States were becoming the face for the people over there. Telling you, pay attention to these things. It's not easy. It's crazy. You want to hear something else that's crazy? I've been trying to hold off on it. Touched on it a little bit yesterday, but let's get deeper into it today. World Liberty Financial's WLFI token dropped 10% to 0.888. Basically, 0.0888 due to a partnership with a sanctioned Cambodian prince and $3 billion in risky treasury deposits. So For all those people that told me I was going to miss out on WLFI, this is why I stayed away from it. I'm not even saying that this is, all these are just allegations. There were treasury moves as well. But this is why I stayed away from them. Is there money to be made? Maybe. I hope you made some for those of you that were involved. But I know probably there are a lot of people that just got tanked. That were all running around. Oh, you got to get involved. There's good. No, I did my own research because that's what I do, right? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Well, I did my own research. And my own research said, nah, stay away from that. Glad I did. Because now, because of these allegations, you've got nothing but controversy. There was already controversy surrounding WLFI. Now there's more controversy. Again, these are allegations, but these allegations are out there. That's a problem. I would not want to be involved with any coin that has allegations like this involved. Canary Capital Group filed an S1 for a Pepe coin ETF. That's going to be interesting. Visa launched a commerce platform called Commerce Connect that enables agentic or agents to do commerce. I guess that's a big deal. We'll see what happens with that. Federal Reserve minutes from March say, you'll see why I said it like that in a minute, say that there could be an opportunity for reducing rates. I don't know now. We'll see what that looks like, but those minutes reflect that. Remember, those are March minutes. Just saying, from the March meeting. So everything that they did leading up to that March meeting did not take into account everything that's going on now. So when you read those minutes and when people go, oh yeah, see, read the minutes, see what kind of data they're working with. And I think you're probably going to see, yeah, they were not, everything that's going on now was not in there, was not calculated. Yeah. Telling you, stop and do your research. Jamie Dimon wants to create his own blockchain. Yeah, makes sense. Grayscale Research highlights Aave's decentralized lending model with $142 million in net revenue and $1 trillion in lending volume through TVL dropped to $42.6 billion in April this month amid sell pressure and leadership departures. The question is Aave actually going to implode? That's the real question. Won't know yet. Anyway, there's more news, but I implore you, go over to growmybag.tv so you can actually read those articles. We've got a ton of articles over there. We release almost every day. There's a lot to read, a lot to research, a lot that can help you along your way. And if you can stop and become a member, that could really be helpful. It really helps us keep this going. It's only $1 a month to become a regular member. And if you want to join our private investors club, that's only $10 a month. So, just saying. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. And in case you don't believe me, every morning this is what happens. I switch screens so we can go over the numbers and everything, and you always see a snapshot of my notes. This tells you that there's a lot more going on the website. Today, Dow futures down, or futures are down 176, S&P futures down 23, NASDAQ futures down 61.75. And like I said, Britain to call for toll-free Strait of Hormuz, says Lebanon must be a part of the Iran ceasefire. It's no joke. It's no joke, folks. Also, who do we have? WD-40 Company is coming out with numbers today. BlackBerry Limited. BlackBerry doesn't do what they used to do, but BlackBerry holds a ton of, patents. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have to say. Blue Moon Metals. Who else do we have? Platinum Group Metals. Is anybody else whose name that I know that I'm actually interested in? No, not today. I think that's it. Although I would be interested in Vision Marine Technologies. Then Today, what are we getting today? Today, we get personal income, personal spending, PCE index, core PCE numbers, GDP revision numbers, initial jobless claims, wholesale inventories. We get all that today. And tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow's CPI day. Like I said, pay attention. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. All these things you must do. What else will we have? We've got the Fear and Greed Index at 14, down from 17. We've got DeFi Llama right now at $94.578 billion in total value locked. I'm hoping that we can get back above that 95 billion mark, because that puts us a hair away from 100 billion. Then you've got Bitcoin at 71,377 right now. We are trending a little bit up. We were higher, approaching that 73,750. And for all of you that think that I'm not thinking properly, I'm still looking at 63,719. Yes, I'm still looking at this number right here. Why? Because the ceasefire is temporary. That's why. The ceasefire is temporary. I don't think it's going to last. I think there are a lot of things that can go wrong. I have no faith right there. So my risk is, woof. That's where I'm going with that. Every place that you can see on the big board, I'm still seeing opportunities. That's backed up by what you can see with the numbers side by side. Things are starting to look good, but you got to do your own research. You got to dive in. But I'm telling you, pay attention to these things. Pay very close attention. Has anybody watched Leo just move up and continuously move up? Has anybody watched Cardano just fall down and continuously fall down? Just saying. Just asking a question for a friend. Just saying. Like I said, we have a ton of articles on the site. Go read them. These are all from today. So go read them. Go catch up. We keep it out. We keep it going for you guys. Now, crypto tracker. Let's go take a look at the losers. Which we have this complete list. The whole list is a bunch of losers. Wow. Fartcoin losing the most, 13.49% down with a GMB X factor of 12.98. Let's see. Algorand is down 9.26. GMB X factor of 30.99. Who else do we have? Let's see. Pepe down, even with that news. With Canary Capital is down 5.89 with a GMB X factor of 7.08. World Liberty Financial is down right now only, had dropped 10% before, but now it's only down about 5.84% with a GMB X factor of 2.59. Just saying, there are problems there. You've got Pudgy Penguins down 5.65 with a GMB X factor of 9.73. Aave is down 5.60 with a GMB X factor of 6.34. Ondo is also down at 5.51 with a GMB X factor of 7.43. Anybody else? Athena is down 5.26 with a GMB X factor of 16.38. That's it on that side. Do we have any winners? I can't imagine. Siren is up. Shocking. Siren is up 8.92% with a GMB X factor of 4.91. I haven't done any research on Siren. I think it has to do with Solana. I'd have to go check. Not 100% sure right now. Or it's a meme coin, because like I said, I need to do my own research on this one. Not that I want to actually invest in it, because I don't. I'm just curious. Let's see. What else do we have? Because we stopped right here. There's nobody else that's actually operating in a positive fashion above my 5% rule right there. So when you look across this list, you drop real fast down to zero, which means that most everybody is down. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, hit the hype, smash the likes, and definitely tell your friends about this community. It's the only community on the planet that actually cares about your education in investing. And it only costs $1 a month. Go over to growmybag.tv and support us. We're doing a lot of good work here, and we could really use your help. There you go. I said it. What else do we have going on? Nothing until 8 p.m. tonight, when I return for the overflow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.